Good morning. How is everyone today? I'm in El Salvador. I'm in El Tunco, actually, by the coast. I just found the cafe this morning. It's almost 8 a.m. Let me check the time. 7:52 a.m. What time is it in UK? Probably like 3 p.m. or something like that. Anyway, I don't have much time today. I probably have like maximum 1 hour. I want to go over Bitcoin, Quanx, and TLV. I'm going to go straight into it. Just for reference, I think it's good to have a look at last week when I did a live stream on Friday last week, because it's basically done what I wanted or what I expected. And so I just like to go over the previous stream just so people can see that it's quite interesting, some of these analyses that I do. Let me just mute it. So I was kind of talking about this Wick fill. See that BTC Wick fill? I was talking about the Wick fill 2 weeks ago, and then I kind of came out with 2 breakout trend lines. See, that's where we were. I was looking for it to reclaim a level and then kind of find support and then head up towards the point of control. It's kind of what I was looking at. Pretty much like that. Something similar to that. Timings are all tricky. That was into Quanx. All right, so that's kind of what I was looking at last week. See that? And just looking at the charts, I haven't looked at the charts in literally a week. And if I go to the slightly lower time frame, medium time frame, well, we were kind of here, weren't we? Look, this is Friday morning. It didn't continue to go down. It actually just went up, but it has found support on a previous low. You see that? So it has done that, and it didn't hit the point of control in the first instance, but it did come back to this. You see this area of support that I was looking at? It was just a high volume node. It found support, and now we're on the way up. So that was a very successful trade plan, wasn't it? So you took that trade. That's kind of what you're looking for. We had the first breakout. Usually when that happens, it's not that weak. Yeah, if this was like weak, if this was really weak, then there's no way you would have done that. You would have just kept on going. Yeah, and then this would have been, you would have taken out the low, and then this would have been a nightmare, disaster for all the bulls. But it hasn't done that actually. It's in the first attempt, it's broken through. It's washed this trend line. That was a big wash, showing weakness for the bears. You got a big take profit, and then the price is just getting back above that trend line. That trend line is pretty much washed. It doesn't exist. I wouldn't mind a back test of it, and we're kind of trying to back test it a little bit. And what you can see is we're above these key high volume nodes. What I've actually done is I've gone, let me just kind of hide this now. I'll put these into their own group. Last Friday, I have to kind of clean my charts. I have to spend time, and I haven't done that. So that's part of the problem, isn't it? Get rid of the trades. Let's just draw the volume. And so the other thing I was talking about last Friday was the volume. Okay, you'd have to go back and watch the stream if you really were interested, but I was talking about what I wanted to see for bullish volume, and I clearly talked about the point of control flipping. Yeah, and I talk about this a lot. If you ever watch my streams, I talk about a change in volume which turns a range from bearish into bullish. Right now, what you can see is this is the volume pull from last Friday. See, it's all the way up to that wick fill. That's bearish. Why is that bearish? Because the point of control is in the high of the range. This is range bound price action. The point of control is in the high of the range. And now what I was looking for is I was looking for the point of control to flip to the bottom of the range. The lower the better. And in this circumstance, when you're looking at the charts, when I kind of update the volume now, And basically I'm taking it, I'm adding 1 week's worth of volume, and you can see that the point of control has flipped. Okay, now it hasn't gone lower. It hasn't gone to the low. So let me just undo, and you can see it's there. You can see the point of control is here. And then when I draw the volume to bring the current volume, you can see how it's moved down. So the point of control has flipped. It's moved down. We're at the point of control now. Technically bullish because the point of control has moved lower in the range, but the price is still underneath the point of control. So also bearish, bullish and bearish. Okay, so we're still not where we want to be. What it means is that now most of the volume in this range is at the point of control, which has dropped from the high of the range, and it's actually in the lower part of the range. And then we've got these key high volume nodes. So most of the volume now is in the lower part of this range, which I would argue is actually quite bullish. Okay, but we do want to flip the point of control into support. So now that I've updated the volume, I'll update this low, this value area low. These key volume, high volume nodes are slightly different. I have to kind of zoom in because my screen's a little bit dark. Yeah, that's high volume though. There, you see that? This one's slightly higher there. You have the point of control that's flipped. So now the point of control is no longer up there, it's here. You see that? And we'll just kind of just clone this high volume node and take it up there. Actually, that's a bit of a range. I'm going to kind of ignore that. There's a bit of volume there, but kind of ignore it. Actually, maybe not, because it was the previous point of control, so probably keep it. All right. Oops. What am I doing? Get rid of these squiggles. So where is the price now? The price is finding a little bit of resistance at the point of control, the new point of control, but we are getting wash price action. So there is kind of clearing the liquidity here. If I go back to the trend lines, there you go. You can see that we've broken from this trend line. If this was bearish, we should have kept on going. More bearish should have been this steeper trend line down. Less bearish, but still bearish would be down. And we haven't done that. And so I would, and because we've also flipped the point of control to the lower part of the range, I would argue that we're starting to form bullish price action now in the charts. Let me have a look at the order flow as well. Again, I haven't looked at this in a week. Oh, my XO charts is a bit laggy, so I don't know how. All right, so we're getting some bearish CVD now, really bearish CVD right now. You see the CVD is going up, the price is going down. This is really bearish. All right, we're underneath. Are we underneath the? We're above the daily open. So above the daily open is generally speaking bullish. Underneath the VWAP is bearish. We're kind of in a bit of an indecisive zone right now. Bit of indecision because we're forming bearish CVD. Okay, we're getting some market longing here, and it's being massively absorbed. You can see that. You can see the OI has gone up, the CVD's gone up. This is big market longs are coming in, and the price is being heavily absorbed by limit longs. Okay, and this is lagging so badly that I can't even use XO chart. So that is enough. I think that's enough information for everyone to see that we're getting a little bit of bearish CVD right now. So this is quite bearish. Just locally bearish. I'm just trying to zoom out to catch the range, but I don't know how laggy this is. It might not let me. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's too laggy. I can't tell across the range. Okay, let me change the time frame. Maybe that will help. Let me change to 30 minutes. Let me see if that helps. It's not really. All right, this is so laggy. I can't even use it. So I'm just going to get off the order flow. It's pointless. Go back to trading view. So we're getting some bearish CVD here. This is because we're at the point of control. So you're getting some selling going on here. What's going to happen next? Well, who knows, really? No one really knows. That's why you use risk management, because no one really knows. But this support level is relevant, isn't it? This previous level. It's also a high volume node. And where's my fibs? Yeah, we're kind of rejecting here of this 236. Let me have a look at the candles. Yesterday's daily candle was a bullish engulfing candle. You see that? It's pretty bullish. We've probably got some new daily levels there. Let me check them out. We're into this wash daily level. You see that? But we've got this brand new liquidity level from yesterday's bullish engulfing candle. Let's have a look at the weekly time frame. Last week we were looking at decreasing prices, decreasing volume. That's not really that bearish. It's quite bullish. Decreasing prices, decreasing volume. We did a full wick fill with a higher low. We've front run this level, lower level. We're looking to reverse here. It looks like we're looking for a reversal, but we haven't had the increasing volume to the upside yet. That's the that 3-day candle is a inverse hammer. It's a pretty bullish 3-day candle. Inverse hammer in the lows. So we're looking to reverse this. I kind of still think we're going to go up. To be honest with you, I kind of feel like we're probably going to go up still. We're getting some selling going on here. Now, this is the thing. This is the question. What happens next? If we fall back underneath this trend line in a meaningful way and then find resistance from it, yeah, you could go back down to test the low there. It's possible. And we're not getting impulsive price action here. This is all corrective. So we're not just going to impulse up. We'll probably go down before we go up. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag here on my trading view as well, which is a little bit frustrating. We're kind of range bound. Let's have a look at some of my indicators here. I'm getting some bearish divergences here on the MACD. Getting some bullish divergences here on the RSI. I'm inclined to think we go up. Jeez. Let's have a look at the monthly time frame candle. Oof. That's turning, huh? We're kind of in a really interesting area. Just looks like we're consolidating here, huh? 4 months in a row. Just consolidating. Price is kind of going sideways, kind of like it did here, huh? It just kind of went sideways. Then you got the final dip, and then we had an explosive move. Kind of feels like that again, huh? Feels like that. It could always reject, but it does feel like that we're kind of going sideways. But we're not getting much buy volume, and that's the problem here. You see that? We're not getting market buying. It's tricky. The tricky part is that even though the point of control is bullish, we're still underneath it. We haven't actually flipped it into support. We're getting decreasing prices, but we're getting decreasing volume. So we're not getting an increasing volume net, which suggests we're going to enter some kind of bear market where people start shorting like there's no tomorrow, because get it, the game's over. And we haven't actually come back up to the golden pocket either. You kind of want that to happen. You kind of want it to go up and reject properly from a clean move to the upside with a lower high, a real lower high. So we haven't had that yet. So I'm kind of, even though it's looking a bit bearish, I'm inclined to think that we're probably aiming for what I originally had, which was that zone there, golden pocket. I kind of still think that, but we may have to pass right back down to the value area low one more time. I mean, we're above this trend line. Yeah, I don't really have any insight, to be honest with you. I kind of still think the same as before, which is there. I still think that, actually. It's really taking a long time, and I don't think anything's changed. The only thing that changes is if we lose this level that we've reclaimed as support. So if we kind of can't get up anywhere meaningful, then we fall below that level, then yeah, we're fucked. Then Bitcoin's fucked. Then we might get a bounce, and then whatever. We'll probably go in further down. Whatever. That's if we kind of meaningfully lose this level that I marked out, which we've flipped into support. And so that's kind of your litmus test for further downside, when at the moment we're naturally finding a lot of resistance here because the point of control has dropped. But at the same time, I don't really see why we don't continue going up all the way up to the golden pocket, which is the previous point of control. Not much movement on the price action either. 1%, 2%. I don't really have much insight in Bitcoin this week, actually. I kind of think we're still going to go up. And then if we are able, the litmus test for another all-time high would be to reclaim the golden pocket. Golden pocket's going to be really important on the way up. If we smash through it and then flip it into support, then we're heading for all-time highs again. And so that will be the real test. We had a Wick fill, and now we have to see if we can flip this point of control into support, flip the golden pocket into support. If that doesn't happen, then we're probably putting in a lower high for lower prices. So I'm kind of still there. Let's have a look at BTC Dominance. Oof, look at that big wick. Not much insight. SPX, have a look at that. Oh, look at that. SPX is pushing up, huh? Look at that. Gapped up. It's really bullish, huh? SPX. Usually means, if the SPX is bullish, it usually means that crypto's going up, usually. In the weekend, it's probably going to pump. That's what it usually means. ETH hasn't really dropped crazily, you know. ETH is kind of still chugging along. And if BTC is correcting, don't really see anything in there. So if I have a look at these other tokens, I think that's it. I think that's Bitcoin, actually. I don't really have much insight, except that I probably still think the same as last Friday. But we are getting some bearish CVD. I wonder if we get a little bit of bullish price action this weekend, just because the SPX is really strong at the moment. And it's gapped up. You see that? Look at the Russell 2000. That's almost that all-time high. This is looking really strong. So I wonder if we get a little bit of risk on this weekend, just because the markets are rallying towards the end of the week, and so maybe we do get a little bit of pullback, but then maybe the weekend we get a little bit of pumpy to take us to the golden pocket. That's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. All right, it's kind of Bitcoin for today, really short and sweet. let me quickly move on. So